She's no stranger to us, Congresswoman Dingle. I apologize for being late. My 5th event already this morning. But it's that time of the year. You know, I want to thank you. It's an honor to be here in Taylor, to be with all my friends on City Council, Butch, who's helped make this museum a reality, to be with your state senator, Eric Gus, Alex, your state rep. But I thought about today. It's going to be a really hard couple of weeks for me because all of a sudden I saw Sharon who worked for John forever and helped with the veterans. And Bonnie. There's nothing, John Dingle had a lot of titles. He was a congressman, he was dean of the house, he was spouse, husband, grandfather, but there was none that made him prouder and meant more to him than being a veteran. And I remember when the museum was first dedicated, and but I haven't had I can't bring myself to clean out anything yet. But when I do, there's more coming. And I'm not promising you it could be a year or two, because I miss them and it's hard. But I thought about, a couple of years ago, I was at a Memorial Day service, and a veteran handed me a poem and said, I want you to read this poem. And I said to, it was in Trenton, and I said to Kyle, is it okay? And she said, if you want to. And I did want to. And I think that this poem says it all much better in any words than I could. And it might even sound funny that I'm reading it this year at this time. But it's really about who this museum should be in honor of and what we're celebrating. Celebrating is not the right word, what we're honoring today. And the poem is called Just a Common Soldier. A soldier died today. He was getting old and paunchy, and his hair was falling fast. And he sat around the Legion telling stories of the past, of a war that he had fought in, and the deeds that he had done, in his exploits with his buddies. They were heroes, every one. And though sometimes to his neighbors, his tales became a joke, all his Legion buddies listened. They knew whereof he spoke. But we'll hear his tales no longer, for old Bill has passed away, and the world's a little poorer, for a soldier died today. He will not be mourned by many, just his children and his wife, for he lived an ordinary and quite uneventful life, held a job and raised a family, quietly going his own way, and the world won't note his passing, though a soldier died today. When politicians leave this earth, their bodies lie in state, while thousands note their passing and proclaim that they were great. Papers tell their whole life stories from the time that they were young, but the passing of a soldier goes unnoticed and unsung. Is the greatest contribution to the welfare of our land a guy who breaks his promises and cons his fellow man, or the ordinary fellow who in times of war and strife goes off to serve his country and offers up his life? A politician's stipend and the style in which he lives are sometimes disproportionate to the service that he gives, while the ordinary soldier who offered up his all is paid off with a medal and perhaps a pension small. It's so easy to forget them, for it was so long ago that the old bills of our country went to battle. But we know it's not the politicians with their compromised employees who won for us the freedom that our country now enjoys. Should you find yourself in danger with your enemies at hand? Would you want a politician with his ever-shifting stand? Or would you prefer a soldier who swore to defend his home, his kin, and country, and would fight until the end? He was just a common soldier, and his ranks are growing thin. But his presence should remind us that we may need his like again. For when countries are in conflict, then we find the soldier's part is to clean up all the troubles that the politicians start. If we cannot do him honor while he's here to hear the praise, then at least let us give him homage at the ending of his days. Perhaps just a simple headline in a paper that would say, "Our country is in mourning. A soldier died today." That's what this museum is about, honoring our soldiers that have given their life or have died after protecting our freedom. Now, this is a poem that was given to me by someone. John Dingle took that. He didn't care that he was a politician. He represented the people. He was proud to serve with the veterans. But I think we need to remember those that keep us free every day. And that this is a time we need to remember. We're not here as Republicans or Democrats or Michiganders or Ohio State. We're here because we're Americans. And Memorial Day is a time to remember what it means to be an American and all that it stands for. Thank you very much.
If you could come back up here. Butch Ramick has a presentation to make to you on behalf of the Veterans Museum and the City of Taylor.
Those of you that have not seen what we designed, a number of us got together and we decided to design something that would be very special. And those of us that have been in the armed forces, we all know what the challenge coin means. It is so dearly to us. There's nothing more and more honorable to receive from someone is a challenge coin. Challenge coin says it all. It means so much. It's from every man that ever served this country, that served in special units, that the units were stepped up to be so proud of themselves, they made something special to make sure people knew who they were. And what we have done, we have made a special coin. And there will never be a coin like this made again. For Lieutenant John Dingle. You know, I know him as a congressman. But to me, as you always have known, I have always called him Lieutenant John Dingle. Because I honor him for serving this country so greatly. And what I'd like to do is I want you to see this coin. There will never be another one like it. And on behalf of everyone, we present you this coin.
Those of you who are in our midst and are veterans, don't leave. You might just be receiving one of those beautiful coins. Let's see, I am now at the point where this is an interesting program. I should probably say that. While this is Armed Forces Day, and Armed Forces Day is the day we celebrate and honor those who are serving our country today, wherever it is, here at home, overseas, we also make half of our program about Memorial Day and memorializing those from the City of Taylor who gave their life in service first to their country by the various conflicts, and then finally every veteran in the City of Taylor whose names we got who died between May 1st of last year and April 30th of this year. So that's where we're at in the program, and we're going to just move along. To read the Civil War names is me. We have 4 Civil War names of Taylor veterans. C.H. Manning, Charles Tucker, Walter Tucker, Emmanuel Grass.